What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to your review. This is your review of TNA Impact for 11/5/2014. That's November 5th, 2014, if you don't get my encrypted code. Okay? This is DJ at Beast Mode 123 100, and that is.
The other guy, I'm over here. My name's Casey. Right there. It's Casey 1987 on the tweeter.
Alright, so first off, this is the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, as you can see right there, down in that area. Um,
It's kind of tiny. You need spectacles to see it, but it's there.
it's there. It's on both of our screens, so that's always good. Do you wanna show them the potentially new logo?
I will show them the potentially new Shit, that's not what I want. Sorry for the language. I know there's kids. I apologize. I've been working on that. let me uh, let me see for anybody that possibly haven't seen it. Just give me a minute.
Possibly haven't
Casey.
seen it. What's that statement there?
And there we go. There is our possible new logo. Ain't it beautiful?
Indeed, I would say I would say it is indeed beautiful. And for you guys who can't see the logo because your vision's just not working in ways which you would like for it to work at this point in life, I'll show you the logo, the current logo. We may just have two logos because it's always nice to have a backup just in case something weird happens or anything. Bam! There you go. So that's the kind of original logo, I guess.
Yeah.
But everything must evolve, so that's what we're doing. We're kind of evolving here, I think. You either evolve or you perish. In the words of Immortal Triple. All right, so we got TNA Impact for November 5th once again, just in case you guys missed the date, because that's the most important thing, knowing, making sure you're watching the right show and everything. So we do got Impact Wrestling 11/5/2014. I think this was overall was a stacked show. It felt kind of stacked. It felt like it was a lot of definitely a lot of matches in this show, and there wasn't really a ton of promos. That's kind of how it's been recently. Um, did you think there was a lot of wrestling? You think it was kind of like a packed show? It wasn't. It didn't. It felt like it was a lot packed into those 2 hours.
Yeah, it felt like a good show. They had it wasn't like last week where they opened up with a match, but they did open with a promo or in the ring, which not unlike WWE, it didn't seem like it lasted too long. It seemed like it lasted just a good amount of time to kind of, set up or continue a storyline. But in general, it was a good show.
And Ryan. Oh, I forgot. Ryan's not here. I don't know where Ryan is right now. Haven't heard from him, so maybe he'll come in late. Maybe he's just gonna abandon you guys. So if you guys next week, you guys send all your hate mail to Ryan because it's all his fault. Okay, it's all his fault. It's all his fault. Don't send any hate mail to Ryan.
His Twitter
Ryan's a good
and
guy, fabulous fellow. He's a fabulous fellow. The F squared. He's the F squared man. Did you have something to say?
I was just gonna give them his Twitter so they can send him all the hate messages and you know and
Yeah, if you need to talk to Ryan and ask him where are you? If you need to do it in a Triple H voice, go ahead, okay? It's at Bawadaboo. I'll actually, you know what? I just made him an overlay, so I'll actually put that on the screen so you can actually see it.
yeah,
No, I'm not gonna be Ryan Huntington tonight.
he even
He's
made
gonna be
him
Ryan Huntington.
a, an overlay and he doesn't show up. How, you
Yeah,
know
I spent all my 15
all of
seconds. It's
yeah,
overlay, and
all of 15
there
seconds
you
from
go.
overlay. And
There you go. There's Ryan's Twitter. BAWADOAO. Are you, man? You're my favorite part of the show, man. Which we should equally all be your favorite part of the show. But anyway, that's okay. All things aren't created equal, I guess. Now I'm crying a little bit, but anyway, we got this nice little tech impact to it before we get off topic, like we suddenly seem to do a lot. But anyway, first off, we started out with a nice video package, which is kind of what TNA does. That's kind of TNA's, you know, because if TNA has a gimmick, it's video package gala. That's what I would say. Video packages, you get a lot of video packages. They're always well put together. They always, the casual fan and say, "Hey, man, hey, hell, we gonna show you what went down." Practically, that's pretty much what they do. So we had a video package on Bobby Roode's journey to the title, and I've said that like over the past 3 weeks because we have had a lot of video packages, with his journey. It was at first it was his journey to the number contender spot, then it was his journey to the title. Now it's his journey to actually winning the title. So we've been seeing a lot of Bobby Roode's journey. We've been seeing a lot of his journey, and it's been a nice journey. They kind of built it up like first we had Rude Lashley 1, then we had Rude Lashley 2, and we had him lifting weights. It was a good video package. If you get a chance to go watch it, I would recommend maybe going to watch it if you're kind of clueless on what was going on tonight or what has went down in the past. So next we have a promo by Kurt Angle, and I really did not get a chance to actually watch much of this. I was just getting here. I was just turning everything on. So Casey, can you explain really what happened? I know what happened at the end, like what it caused and everything, but can you just explain a little bit of what went down?
yeah, we had Kurt Angle in the ring, basically talking about how we have a new uh, world champion, obviously Bobby Roode, followed by the introduction of Bobby Roode. And Bobby Roode comes down, um, talks about how he loves professional wrestling and how he's proud to be there in front of all of the fans as their new heavyweight champion. The typical face, just won the title, feeding off the fans right there. Then we have MVP, Lashley, and Kenny King interrupt. Typical heels, got to interrupt. Which I almost didn't feel. Commentary said it, they interrupted, but I almost feel like they didn't. It almost felt like Bobby Roode was done talking anyway, and then they just happened to come up. I don't know. Maybe I'm nitpicking about the script. Whatever.
It was just good timing, just good timing. They knew exactly when it was going to end. They were like, you know what, we're not going to be heels tonight. We're just going to come out there right when it ends, and it's gonna be good.
They may be right. I don't know. That could have happened. But MVP tells Rude how he's a sorry excuse for a champion and how Lashley was so much more powerful and intimidating. He doesn't understand why the fans cheer for Rude and talks about how Angle made sure Rude won because we all know Angle was the special guest referee. So who really was the bad guys? Typical heels kind of trying to say, we're not the bad guys, you're the bad. You know. Um, then MVP talks about how the only reason Lashley was the champion is because Lashley took over for MVP when he was injured, and that therefore MVP should get a shot at the title. He has the right for a shot at the title, which sets up Rude versus MVP. And you could see that Lashley was visibly upset about this, wasn't too happy. So that's kind of gonna set up in the next couple weeks. We'll see what happens with that. Did you see up to that point?
Yeah, I had saw it, but I didn't get a chance to really write it down in like any detail or anything. Because like the only thing I have is it set up MVP versus Rude for the title. That was the only thing I wrote down. Um, Yeah, I thought it was a decent promo. It was that typical heel face off type of thing. It you know it did set up the Rude versus MVP, which I kind of was a little bit exciting because that's been kind of building for a while, especially with MVP, with that injury. And yeah, he does deserve a title shot, but then again, I guess he kind of made Lashley feel a little bit bad because Lashley was like, okay, all right, GG MVP, gave him the GG. He let him know, I'm not gonna take that. I'm the destroyer. You're just, balling. But after that, nice little, promo by Kurt Angle and MVP and
I do
Kenny
have to
King.
just throw in a little bit, just a little grievance problem I have with TNA. If you notice, their World Heavyweight Championship, at least to me, looks a lot like the WCW slash WWE World Heavyweight Championship, which just kind of bothers me.
Are you
They
talking about like the individual title? Or are you talking about like the one that belonged to like SmackDown beforehand, or the one they have now?
No, not the one they have now. The one that was originally in
That are Yeah,
WCW,
the original one.
and then they brought it over. Yeah, uh, I don't know. To me, they just look too much the same. I feel like TNA just copied it. You know, there's differences, but that's just
I,
something.
I, I think TNA is trying to keep it plain though too. They don't want it too flashy. It seems like they're kind of keeping it. They're making it important, but it doesn't. Because that WCW World Championship belt, was prestigious, and it didn't even. It didn't have all the sparkles and everything that the current WWE World Championship has. So I mean, I think it does kind of look like that. I never really realized that before, but I guess now that I think about it, it's kind of like that belt with TNA World Heavyweight Championship on it. I never even have thought of that.
I mean, it's almost like the exact same shape if you look at it. Uh,
But luckily I actually like the design. Like, I
yeah,
do like that
yeah.
design
I
definitely.
like the design too, but Anyway, what do we have next?
All right, so next up we had a video package on the tag team tournament. Basically, it was letting us know who the finalists were, which is Low Key and Samoa Joe, and they will be taking on the Hardys later on tonight. Actually, here in a little
A little bit.
bit. Yeah, here in a second. Um, we had a nice little Low Key and Samoa Joe promo. Basically, they didn't think we would coexist. We did. Do you know the details of that promo? Because I watched it, but I didn't. Once again, I didn't get a chance to really write anything down at this point.
They basically were just saying, yeah, we're rivals, but when it comes down to it, the one thing we have in common is getting the win. So they can put their differences aside and work for that common goal. Obviously, referring to the match with the Hardys to get to the tag team championship match. It was just a good short promo. Wasn't too dragged out or anything like that. And it works for Samoa Joe and Loki. And I know some people don't really like them on the mic too much. Don't think they have really good mic skills. Eh, and that's the thing I feel like WWE doesn't do. I feel like some of these guys who aren't as good on the mic, you can give them shorter promos where they don't have to say as much and it still works out. Um, you know, but like I said, good promo. I liked it. Kind of, and I do like the dynamic between the two. Um, you can tell they are rivals and they may not like each other, but you can tell they respect each other from their history, and um, because of that, the way they work together works.
Yeah, I agree. I thought they looked really good as a tag team last week. Um, I didn't think the tag team match was as good this week, but I did think they did look pretty good as a tag team last week. Just seeing that new pairing, and obviously they have the chemistry against each other, so that kind of goes a little bit hand in hand with tag teaming as well.
Yeah, I felt like there wasn't as many spots in this match too,
Yeah, yeah.
but we'll get to that.
That's actually the next match on the card. So we had Low Key and Samoa Joe. It was actually after the promo. I think it was maybe commercial afterwards or something like
Yeah,
that.
it was
We got
commercial.
Low Key and Samoa Joe going up against the Hardys. Um, just some things I noted of here. We had a nice little catching side effect by um, by Matt Hardy, and then we had the Bulldog clothesline combo by Matt Hardy. We had the Warriors Way that where Matt Hardy was kind of hung up in the tree of woe, which I thought that looked really good. I think it always looks good when Loki does that, especially out of the tree of woe. Then we had Samoa Joe. He actually hit his signature um, kind of like flipping type of kick where he's hit him in the corner and then he turns around and kicks him. But it looked like Jeff Hardy took this a little bit differently than we've seen people do it in recent history. Um, Jeff Hardy looked like he took it straight up. I don't know if he saw that. I don't know if he really did, but it kind of looked like he did. Usually, I've seen them turn like they would turn like that. They would take it on the shoulder, on the back. But it looked like Jeff Hardy kind of took it a little bit more straighter, which it's Jeff Hardy. Like he's probably Jeff. no, no, that Jeff Hardy's gonna take it straight up, right? Then we had a swanton onto Matt Hardy to break up the rear naked choke. That looked like it killed both Samoa Joe and Matt Hardy, and especially Matt Hardy. I mean, especially Samoa Joe being completely under the bottom. Um, then we had to end the match. We had poetry in motion into the swanton bomb into a moonsault for the win. The moonsault was by Matt Hardy. Obviously, the swanton bomb was by Jeff Hardy, and then we had poetry in motion the way they always do it. So we're gonna get the Wolves and the Hardys next week. I'm just, I was curious about this. Did we see the Wolves versus the Hardys in the just 2-on-2? Because I swear we did, but I was like I couldn't remember because I was thinking I was like so I know the first match I'm pretty sure it was Wolves and 3D, and then we saw Wolves and Hardys I thought, and then that kind of basically set up the tag team title series. So we did see Wolves versus Hardys. I was a little confused at that point because I was like, didn't we just see this match? Like we didn't just see it, but not too long ago.
Yeah, we definitely did see that. And I don't know if you were finished with your thought there, but
Yeah, it was.
okay. Um, I, as for this match, you're right. It wasn't as good as last week. Um, and I've said this in a couple of our past Impact reviews about the Hardys. I mean, when I was growing up, I was one of the biggest Hardy fans, specifically Jeff. Um, I love Jeff. He was my hero, through
Hated Matt. Hated him. Matt, you're not as good as Jeff.
even through like the drugs and everything like that. He had his issues. I was still a huge fan. But I mean, they're getting up there in age, and you know, you can definitely see it in Matt. Matt always had knee issues and stuff like that. And he's not getting around the ring as well as he used to. Yeah, and even Jeff, to an extent, is kind of not as limber as he used to be. Not as can't get around. You can tell all the years of abuse are starting to take a toll on him. Um, and honestly, I was expecting Samoa Joe and Low Ki to win. I think, and it hurts me to say this because I was such a big Hardys fan. I think the Wolves versus Low Ki and Samoa Joe would be such a better match. I don't think the the Hardys need another title shot. You know, they've had they haven't had. I don't think they've had the TNA titles, but they're such a big team that they don't need them. You know, and I don't know that Low Key and Joe necessarily need them, but I think just in general the match would be a lot better with them in it. But you know, we'll see. The Hardys have, you know, surprised us many times before, so you know it could be a great match. I don't know what they're gonna do with. They'll probably just throw Joe and Loki back into the X Division picture again. But all in all, it was an okay match. You know, wasn't the worst I've seen. Um, but as compared to last week, it just wasn't there for me.
Yeah. As far as the Joe, like I don't know. I don't think these two teams were the right teams to make it to the finals. I think maybe Joe and Low Key should have made it, but I really think EC3 and Tyrus should have made it. The reason I'm saying that is, for one, we had just saw the Hardys versus the Wolves not too long ago, and I was kind of like, are we gonna get that again? And then with the Samoa Joe and Low Key thing, you don't see a lot of dual title runs where a person has two titles. So it wasn't really gonna make any sense. I wasn't gonna be like, oh yeah, Samoa Joe and Low Key are definitely gonna win against the Wolves. I just wasn't gonna, that wasn't gonna be something I was gonna really be like, yeah, that's gonna happen. Well, with EC3 and Tyrus, especially with the undefeated streak, you could kind of say, oh, EC3 might get his first title, and it would make logical sense, um, from a viewer standpoint and from the business standpoint, considering EC3 hasn't lost, and considering the undefeated streak, and considering him and Tyrus getting together and building that relationship or whatnot. So I don't know if these two teams were the right teams for this spot. Just because I know we just saw the Hardys, and plus I didn't think the Hardys was going to win anyway, considering Matt Hardy's going back to ROH sometime soon. He may even already be there currently. I'm not really sure right now. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it was as good as last week. It was okay, but it wasn't great or anything. So next we got James Storm, and he's talking to Davey Richards, and he's like, I've been through what you've been through. I wish somebody would have been there for me when I was going through what I was going through and all that. And basically, he's like he lets him know that he's here for him. So they're still trying to build up James Storm as his big time um, persuasive figure in TNA, and persuasive heel at that. And they're trying to make us feel like the Wolves are going to break up, but I just don't. I don't see it. I just don't. I think like Ryan said, they're going to make James Storm feel like he's a really big persuasive figure, and then I know where they're going with this, but it's not going to happen. That's all I'm going to say. Do you have anything about this specific backstage segment?
This storyline with the Wolves just still doesn't make sense, you know, at all. With them being so new to TNA, it doesn't make sense that they would break up. And like I said in our last video, there's no evidence in TNA of any rift between the Wolves, you know. So this just doesn't make sense. I, I mean, you know, they could. I can see them building James Storm as a big heel. Like that's not a problem. I just this storyline just doesn't make sense. Um, there's different ways you can build a storyline between him and Manic and uh, Sonata versus the Wolves. This just doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. It really doesn't, considering, even when through the whole MVP situation, like the Wolves were still, practically joined at the hip. They weren't gonna break up then either. So why, just because of random things, would James Storm make them want to break up? I mean, what does James Storm have that they don't already have? It's not like James Storm has like the world title or anything, like where they'd be like, oh yeah, I want to work with this guy, so eventually he'll give me a shot at the title or something. Something of that nature. He doesn't have anything that. I mean, he has a couple of people in face painted masks. Okay, I mean, like, but I think I know where they're going with this one. Um, it doesn't make sense that the Wolves would break up. Um, but I think we'll see in a couple weeks where they're going with this. Especially if I read everything that I didn't want to read that I accidentally got thrown into reading. Um, if I read that right, then yeah, I think I know where they're going with this a little bit. I don't know the exact details. I'm just kind of guessing. I know the end result, but I don't know the in between stuff. So after Storm tries to convince Davey that basically wants him to join the Revolution, we got a backstage segment with Bobby Roode, and he's basically letting us know that he has no problem with MVP, and that he's going to prove why he is more of an MVP to the company than MVP. Um, anything from that backstage little promo?
Uh, I think I missed that promo. I was doing something outside my room. I heard it, but I wasn't watching it. So I
Yeah, it
mean,
was just basically it was Rude saying he's not going to take the title from me, basically.
yeah,
Then we get a video package.
it's okay.
We get a video package with the Brittany and Shaw relationship, and it got worse. It got worse. Okay, so we got video package basically just showing how they came together and how Shaw turned on Gunner. Then Shaw and Brittany are actually in the ring cutting a promo. Shaw comes out looking like a complete zombie. Um, he looked like he could barely walk. He looked like a zombie. Like, I mean, you look up a picture of a zombie, you put it next to Shaw tonight. Yep, you're about right. Right. Or have you ever played what was that? What was that thing with zombies in it? Call of Duty or something
Yeah.
like that? It was like yeah. Yeah, if you play that, probably probably about where you're at. Okay, now Shaw, got one thing for you, bro. Better keep your eyes off Brittany, darn it. Keep your eyes off my girl, darn it. Okay, quit it. Okay,
all, all,
no.
all I
I mean,
gotta
did
say,
you see the way he was look? I mean, come on.
I was just looking at the shorts. I was,
I was
whew,
gonna mention that. I was gonna out of control.
whew,
Shorts is an understatement.
whew.
I mean, that was basically. I mean, that might have been even. That might have been even worse than Rebel. I mean,
It was close. Ooh,
it was.
ooh.
I thought the pants the couple weeks ago were like what we were gonna get, were like the peak and everything, but they proved me wrong. There's a lot of out of control things going on with this right now. The makeout sessions out of control. The anything Britney wears in the lower part of her body or doesn't wear, out of control. And also Samuel Shaw's mustache is out of control. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Samuel Shaw had like two stray hairs just sticking out like that. I don't know if you guys saw it. I saw it. I don't really know what's going on with Samuel Shaw and that mustache. But anyway, then we had Gunner come out, and did Gunner get new music? I'm not really sure. It sounded differently than I'm used to hearing, but
Yeah.
TNA does that a lot. They will change people's music just randomly, don't tell us about it, and then don't say anything about it either. So, I don't know why they do that, but I guess they kind of did here. He comes out, and obviously he's upset because, he turned his back on, Shaw turned his back on him. Um, Basically, Gunner, he's not happy camper at this point. Um, and I don't. So, what invoked the brawl? Because I know what happened ensuing after when the brawl was going down.
Yeah, well, basically, I'll just go kind of through the whole promo.
And
Shaw,
by the way, what were those like freaking latex gloves Samuel Shaw decided to put on? I thought he was about to give the man a prostate exam because Taz was like, can this happen on national on TV? It's like, oh, okay, all right.
I don't know. I don't know. That I don't know, but Samuel Shaw was basically talking about how he turned his back on Gunner because Gunner only saw him as a charity case. And Brittany took the mic and told Shaw that Gunner was never his friend, that Christy Hemme could never appreciate him like Brittany could, and they could never do the things that Brittany can do. Wink, wink. We know what she's talking about.
No!
Uh, and then they started making out randomly because that's what they do. When Gunner came out, Gunner said, he's sick of this, along with everyone in Bethlehem who's sick of this. Tells Shaw that he was his friend, and that Brittany basically got in his head, and that crazy attracts crazy, which it does. We all know that crazy attracts crazy. He says that the problem is he didn't want to be like Gunner. He wanted to be Gunner, with wearing his uniform the one week and all that stuff. He says that what we have here is a couple of creepy bastards. Samuel Shaw kind of, doesn't like that too much, and he says, "Hey, don't say that." And Gunner says, "Say what? Creepy bastards," and that kind of started out the brawl. It reminds me too much of back when people were calling AJ crazy and she would kind of freak out. This is basically the male version, except it's creepy bastard. Yeah.
Yeah, it is like that. And I think Shaw was kind of one of those guys where they kind of repackaged him as the same guy somewhat.
Yeah, except he was crazy now. Like I like the original Samuel Shaw. You know,
Yeah, when he's not all over Brittany. Yeah, I like that one too.
I feel like you have an issue with him being all over Britney.
He knows that Brittany and I we have this connection that no one can break, not even Samuel Shaw. He's gonna come out of nowhere and hit me with the Kazakatami, so I better look out. I'm gonna be sleeping before the video's over. So after that, after the brawl kind of happened, Brittany, Gunner's taking control at this point, and Brittany actually jumps on Gunner's back, providing the typical distraction, and Shaw hits him with a low blow. Shaw pulls out these rubber. I mean, they weren't even like the original gloves he used to have. I think he used to wear like one glove or something. These were like straight up like
Medical.
doctor's gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was like,
There.
okay, all right. I don't know what's going to happen here. And um, then Shaw hits the Kazakatami on Gunner, and basically he shushes Gunner to sleep. So I really do like that move though. I really am a big time fan of the
Yeah.
Kazakatami. It's
I
one of my
I
favorite moves.
like that, but I was confused as to why he put gloves on. I was like, wait, what?
I was like, did it give him better grip or like I don't understand. I guess it just makes him even more creepy. I guess.
I guess. I was waiting for the rectal exam. You know, I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I knew it was coming, but it didn't happen. So I was actually a little surprised. Surprised. Um. So next, after the segment that I would like to forget about for for a nice little bit, we had a video package on a new TNA superstar, and I think I think I've heard about this guy before. But I've been staying off the news and rumors and stuff like that websites, so I've been staying away from those type of things. But we have, a video package about him, and I can't remember how to pronounce his name, but I'm trying my best. Mahabali Shera. I don't think that's how you say it. I think I probably butchered it, probably to death. Um, do you remember how to say it? Or
Was this the video package with Manic?
no, this was before that. This was
Okay.
actually it was just a video package about him. He was training and he was, you know, I
Oh
think
yeah.
Kurt Angle was introducing him as the new TNA superstar from India, and I think he's actually the first TNA superstar from India. I think
Yeah. I
um,
didn't catch his name. Uh,
it's it's like Mahabali Shera. Like I wrote it down when they showed the little they showed it, but I could at first I knew how to pronounce it and I couldn't spell it. Now I got it spelled right. And I don't know how to pronounce it. So we got a little video package just letting us know that he's coming through, and he's a pretty big guy. Like he's not. I thought he was gonna be one of those like X Division type of guys, but actually he's actually a pretty swole guy. So you know. So after the video package, we get the Bragness versus Tommy Dreamer and Devon in a hardcore match. We got the hardcore legend and Magnus going up against, a couple of quote hardcore dinosaurs as they like to call them, and Devon and Tommy Dreamer. So we got from the beginning, Bram comes out with this we are the champion theme, and basically Devon and Dreamer attacking from behind, which is kind of flipped. I think maybe a little bit, kind of flipped. Like maybe
yeah.
the heel should maybe attack from behind. If nothing else, attack him from the front. Don't attack him from behind. Come on, you're supposed to be the basis. Come on, come on. I mean, anyway, then we got a mop shot from Tommy Dreamer um, to Magnus, and I just wrote this down because I hadn't seen somebody get hit with a mop in a while, and I don't think it was even a mop. It was like one of those big, wide brooms or whatever. I don't know what you call them. I'm not a cleaning expert, but it's like a big, wide, like broom type of thing. You get, stuff up. It's a big version of a broom, basically. He hit him with that, and I hadn't seen that in a while or at all. Um, then we get a nice drop toe hold by Magnus onto Dreamer. I think I got that right. Onto the edge of the chair. I thought that looked pretty nice. Then we got a nice little slingshot. Devon attempt. No, actually, it was Bram who attempted the slingshot. Bram attempts a slingshot to the outside of the ring and gets caught by Devon with a trash can lid. I thought that looked pretty sick. And then we got a nice little concerto to the well, what do you call it? A Bram, the yam bag, I guess we're gonna say. We got the little concerto with the trash can lid in between the leg area, and he hits him with the. It kind of slid down a little bit, so I don't know if he really got a clear shot, but not being technical or anything. Yeah, and so then we get a Devon too strong spot with the it was a spot we saw in the tag team title series, one of the tag team title series matches where he did the power bomb with both his arms up, and he lifted everyone with one arm each. Yeah, so we saw that it was he hit the power bomb, and then Bragness hit the double suplex. So that's practically how that came about. and then Devon pushes Bram off the apron through the table. I don't know if you caught this, but did you see where he went through that table? He kind of hit like the edge. Like he didn't even hit like the middle of it. Like he hit like where the rail, like where the actual where it stands up and everything. I don't know how that he didn't die. Um,
Yeah, I was like that. That probably hurt. That was not a good. That didn't feel good.
yeah, like I don't know what I don't know if he didn't jump enough or what, but the way he hit that, like he hit his like it was like his back, wasn't it? Like at least lower back on
Yeah.
that portion of the table. That was crazy. Um, then Magnus comes in and lays the wood in with the kendo stick. Dreamer catches Magnus with a yam bag shot. Um, and it was basically a kick, the yam bag kick, and then he throws him into the trash can in the corner, similar to how they similar to in WWE where you'd see the chair set up in the corner, and he throws him into that, and then he hits his DDT for the win. And I actually thought that DDT looked really nice. And Dreamer's been doing it for years, so it should, I guess. So what do you think of this hardcore dinosaurs versus the hardcore King and Magnus?
Well, first of all, I'd like to let everyone know that the yam bag kick is a technical term. It's an actual move. It's the yam bag kick. No, it, it was an okay match. I mean, I guess I have kind of high expectations for hardcore matches from like the Attitude Era and all that. When they would actually, go backstage and, it could go anywhere. Now I feel like hardcore matches are just in the ring or outside the ring. Like, it's not as exciting as they used to be. But I will give TNA credit. They do better, I feel, hardcore matches than WWE does. You know, you get broken tables, you actually get at least with trash can lids, headshots. I feel like WWE doesn't really do headshots with anything anymore. They just kind of just do the back or like in the gut or something like that. Um, so that's cool. I'm still kind of upset that they're just kind of throwing Bram into this hardcore legend uh, storyline thing because I'm afraid it's gonna get him stuck in. I think we talked about this, or maybe it was Bruce Blitz that talked about this. I don't know, but I don't want him to get stuck in this just being a hardcore wrestler gimmick. Um, I want him to be able to, and even like guys who are, the ECW guys, like the Dudleys, you don't necessarily think of them as hardcore wrestlers. You think of them as tag team wrestlers. I just don't want to see him stuck in that gimmick and not be able to expand into, other areas like, the world title scene or even the X Division.
I'd like for him to attempt to do something with the X Division, especially because he's kind of just in this partnership with Magnus. They're not even a real team, really. Like they're just kind of together. They're English. I don't really know if I call them a real team. They don't really get they don't get any shots like the rest of the teams do. Were they even in the freaking tournament? I'm
No,
pretty sure they weren't.
I don't think
Like,
so.
they're just like they're like a two-man faction. They're not really a tag team at all. Like they didn't even get in. They're like one of the only teams we knew of before, and like they didn't even get in the tag team tournament. Like, why? Like they should have been the ones that should have been the number one contenders for the title, honestly,
Yeah, that would have been good actually,
because
because
they've been together for a while.
and I do like them together. I think they have a good chemistry together. I think it works.
All right, so after we got this hardcore dream match, I guess you could say. I think Mike today did say that. He said it was a hardcore dream match. Um, so I guess if you want to call it that, we got a hardcore dream match. Then we got a Gail Kim backstage promo. And she's basically saying she's ready for Havoc tonight. She's ready to face Havoc. She's ready to get her revenge, and we're gonna learn that Havoc does not care about you getting any type of revenge at all. So we're gonna learn that here in a little bit. But first, we had Rockstar Spud come out. This was actually unexpected. Rockstar Spud comes out and he's with Jeremy Borash and he's cutting a promo and just a couple of things I took from this. I didn't write down his words word for word or anything. I probably should have, but I didn't. But obviously, you guys know there's only one price in wrestling at this point, with the whole network and everything. So everything is probably going to be this price forever. Like it doesn't matter if you get a bundle, it's going to be this price. If you pay for a pay per view, it's going to now be this price. Everything's going to be this price from now on. So I mean, because since the network has gone viral and all that, gone through a couple of countries and everything, everything's going to be $9.99 just for so you guys know. If you go to the store, you get a pack of gum, $9.99. Okay, so just watch out. It's taking over. But basically, you can get the I'm with Spud shirt for what price would you think, right? $9.99. Okay, so you can get the I'm with Spud shirt for $9.99, of course. Um, but anyway, we got Spud calling. He's basically showing his upsetness. It's not a word. He's showing his disappointment. I guess I could say
His
showing his disappointment
British
with
anger.
what?
His British anger.
Yeah, showing his British anger with 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 EC3 here. And the best thing about this promo, and the only thing I wrote down, was that Spud calls EC3 a complete and utter wanker. And the fans chant he's a wanker, and I almost lost it. It was probably the best chant I had ever heard in my life. Spud was in his I'm a Spud shirt tonight, and he was in his his little his suits he always wears. He takes the jacket off. I'm thinking, okay, Spud and got a little swole. He got a little bit more swole going to this feud with EC3. EC3 is like the swollest man ever, so obviously Spud's got to step up his game to get as swole as EC3. So basically, he's looking a little swole tonight. Maybe, probably not, but anyway. So Spud straight up does not care. He cares about as much as Havoc does, because Rockstar Spud says D-bag on national frickin' television twice, and
That was
twice.
amazing. Amazing.
Like I was like, oh, okay, Rockstar Spud pushing the envelopes with that one. So he's basically shooting on TNA at this point. He's going straight up off script. They wrote out this nice little promo for Spud. He's like, you know what, right here, I'm just gonna add this in here for you guys. You guys aren't gonna know. He's probably gonna get fired, and we're gonna be like, what happened to Spud? Oh yeah, he got fired for last week. So I don't know. It was very much interesting to hear, because you never. I don't think I've ever heard that before. And
Yeah.
in the ring. I don't think I.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't.
I've heard like asshole, I've heard jackass, I've heard a lot of things. I've never heard d-bag. I've
Yeah, like I had it surprised me. It did. I was like, and then he said it again, and I was like, okay, all right. I was like, maybe it was a mistake. No, but we'll get to this him saying it again in a second. So as we keep going, he after he says D-bag, Borash lets everybody know that he's with Spud, just so you guys know, if you guys even care. Jeremy Borash is with Spud, so that's a good thing, right? Um, and I'm pretty sure EC3 called Jeremy Borash the maestro of this miscarriage. So I think he was talking with the "I'm with Spud" movement. Yeah, like he called him the maestro of this miscarriage. So that was that. How dare you, Jeremy Borash? You be the maestro of this miscarriage. And Rockstar Spud basically owes it all to EC3, as EC3 says. And EC3 says you're gonna apologize to me. And I'm thinking, or Tyrus is gonna breathe really hard on your neck and probably break it. Because
I
Tyrus was standing over top of him like this.
just have to say, I feel like before they come out there in the backstage area, just making bets on who could say the funniest thing or get away with saying like the most outrageous thing before they come out.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. It was great, honestly. EC3 was like, you better apologize, and Tyrus was standing over top of Rockstar Spud, like, yeah, apologize, practically. Um, and then Spud says, no, basically. Actually, I can't remember how exactly he said it. He said it kind of weirdly, though. He said it in his like British accent, but it was kind of
It was
weirdly,
no.
yeah. It was it was great. And then EC3 is like, you better say sorry. And Spud's like, I'm sorry, EC3, that you're a big nose d bag. and and Taz is like, I don't think you can say big nose on TV. So Taz is playing into it as well. Um, because obviously they're not gonna let that go 3 times in a row, right? So EC3 slaps Jeremy Borash. Um, and then I think I didn't mean to write this the way I wrote it, but someone attacked somebody else from behind. I put Spud attacked Spud from behind, but that's not possible. So what happened in the end of that? Did EC3 attack Spud from behind, or Spud? Or no, Spud came and attacked EC3 because he was
Yeah,
punking down Borash,
and
right?
then Tyrus grabbed him and was attacking him while Spud was still trying to attack EC3. Then eventually EY came out with a chair to
Yep,
even up the odds.
yep, that is what happened. I think after that we had a nice little commercial break for you guys who needed you guys' break, and then we got the Knockouts title match. We got Gail Kim going up against Havoc for the Knockouts Championship. Somewhat. Um, so we started out with Gail Kim. She came out first. Havoc comes out second. Obviously, she's the champion. Gail tries to take out Havoc early. Havoc says, "Or nah, she ain't gonna take that." Havoc is not feeling taking a beating from Gail Kim at this point, so Havoc shuts that down. Um, Havoc's beating her down. Havoc's, going for the hammerlock slam and stuff like that. And Havoc throws Gail off the side of the ramp. It kind of looked a little bit weird, just because Gail landed on her feet. That was really the main reason it looked weird. I thought Gail was gonna maybe take that, but I know that's a tough one to take. I know it is. But she did take one. She did take a spot later on in the match, just so you guys know. So then we come back. I think they may have taken a commercial here. They may have taken a commercial here. I can't remember because I know Jeremy Borash was he was basically letting us know that this match is not going to continue.
I
And
think.
Gail Kim says, yes, it will. It's going to continue. So Gail Kim comes in um and they start the match officially. I actually thought that they were going to make it to where Havoc didn't have to defend the title tonight because I was behind, but it looked like they didn't have a lot of time and I knew they were going to give a decent amount of time to the main event. So I was actually expecting them to actually end it, not actually have this match tonight. But Gail Kim, pulling out her inner John Cena and, defying the odds here. And, she goes back in the ring and Havoc locks in the hammerlock again. She rams her into the corner, then hits it with a hammerlock slam. If the match, I was like, okay, so if the match is going to continue, it's going to be a quick match because obviously Gail Kim's hurt. Well, since it wasn't over off of this first hammerlock slam, I was a little confused at this point because I thought it was gonna be over after the first hammerlock slam. She'd already beaten her down and everything, throw her out the ramp. She was still selling the arm injury from before anyway. So basically, we got that hammerlock slam, and then Havoc goes for a kick, and Gail Kim rolls out of the way, but it actually looked like she hit her injured shoulder. Well, Gail Kim just no sells it. Um, she just basically just got right back up. Like she didn't care at all about her injured shoulder. She no sells the kick to the injured shoulder, and then we got a double sledge into the stairs by Havoc. Havoc goes for a double sledge, um, and she basically hits the stairs because Gail Kim moves out of the way. Havoc hits a sick electric chair facebuster on the Gail Kim onto the
Ooh,
stairs. It looked painful. It did.
that,
I thought it was
yeah.
over. I thought that was it. Havoc had went back into the ring, and she basically was like, this match is over. I'm done. Stifler gets to 9. Havoc says, never mind. I'm not done yet. So she goes out there and she breaks up the count. Actually, she actually stands in front of Stifler so he can't count anymore. I guess technically he could count, but she's like, no, 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 bro. You're not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. So she comes and breaks the count out. She brings Gail Kim back in the ring. Gail Kim out of nowhere locks in a Black Widow. I think what not a Black Widow, but that's the first thing that came to mind when I saw the submission hold. What did she actually have her
Octopus.
in to lock this in?
It was kind of like an octopus. It, it was weird. It almost wasn't either. It was kind of a hybrid because I couldn't put my finger on what was different about it, but there was something different about it.
Yeah, it was different. I just called it the Black Widow because I couldn't remember what it was called. I was like, oh no. But what did Havoc have her in that she reversed into that submission hold though? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Because
Um,
I don't either. I saw it and I was like, oh, and I meant to go back and actually look at that and see what she had reversed that into, but I didn't get a chance.
yeah, I don't remember.
Well, she did reverse it into the modified, somewhat Black Widow type of submission hold, and Havoc does fight out, of course. I actually thought it might have been over here. At first I was like, are they really gonna end this like this and make Havoc look like a tool by tapping out to Gail Kim? But they actually didn't do that, and I'm actually kind of glad they didn't. Um, you know, so after that, Gail Kim reverses Havoc's. Um, I think it was a slam she was going for. It was a slam she was going for into a facebuster, and I thought this looked kind of weird because it didn't really look like she had did a facebuster. It looked like she did, but it looked like Havoc was gonna no sell it because she got up and then sold the face. So
Yeah,
I actually thought Havoc had actually hit the slam, but turns out she actually did hit the facebuster, and it took Gail Kim actually a little longer to get up than it seemed like. Then Gail Kim starts to work the arm. Gail Kim goes for her spinning crossbody, and she only gets a 2 count. Havoc reverses the eat the feet finisher into the hammerlock slam for 2. Gail Kim reverses the choke slam into the eat the feet for a near fall. I actually thought it could have been over right there too. And then Havoc catches Gail Kim from the top rope, choke slam for the win. So I actually thought this was, especially to be, it was kind of shortened because of the pre-match, activities and all that. But I actually thought this was actually a really good knockouts match considering the circumstances and all of that. Especially when you have someone selling an injury to having to being forced to kind of sell an injury throughout the whole match. What do you think about this match? Then you want to see?
um, there was one specific point or spot where it wasn't a great spot or anything, but when Gail Kim did, it wasn't in the corner, it was just in the ring. She did like a front drop kick onto Havoc, and it kind of reminded me of Daniel Bryan's front kick into the corner. It just looked a lot like it. But that also the uh, face plant onto the steps was ooh. Um, and then when for that count out when he got to 9, I I thought he was gonna get to like, or he got to 8, I think. Um, I thought he was gonna get to 9, and I thought Gail Kim was gonna do a Super Stina moment where, you know, she gets right back in the ring just before 10. I was waiting for it. I was like, this is gonna happen right now. This is gonna happen right now. Like, holy shit. Um, but it was a good match, and I just have to say, if anybody from TNA or WWE ever watches this podcast by some chance, please can we have Gail Kim versus Paige? I think that would be an awesome match. They both work really good in the ring, and they both are not afraid to take bumps and make take and do good spots. I just think they would have an awesome match together. But it was a good match. I almost I don't know too much about Havoc's history before she came to TNA, but I almost feel like in some cases I don't want to say she's big because that is offensive, but it's almost like she doesn't she's a bigger knockout, and she almost feels like sometimes she doesn't know how to work with her size. Um, with obviously the majority of female wrestlers are going to be smaller than her. I feel like she almost maybe hasn't figured out how to really work with that dynamic. Not to say that she's not good in the ring or anything. There's just some spots that kind of to me look a little awkward with her. Maybe that's just me. I don't know if you notice that or if anyone else notices that. Um, then it could also be because she's in a bigger stage. TNA isn't a WWE type big stage, but she is on national TV, so it could be nerves. I don't know, but I feel like anytime Gail Kim's in a match, it's going to be a good match. Um, so
Is she just bigger for this gimmick though? Because I've seen pictures of her where she's not really like she doesn't look as big as she is now. It may just be for the this freaking overlay is not working. Every overlay, but it just looks like because I've seen some pictures of her does now in the past. I wonder if she just big for this scary type of gimmick.
I don't know. I haven't really looked at pictures of her and other gimmicks or anything like that.
I've tried to find some pictures, but the overlay machine will not work for me. Epic. I'm gonna try one more. This better work. It's better work. Children, shield your eyes because it may not work the way I want it to. All right, let's try this one. Nope, nope. Still, still just does. I mean, I just
I don't
can't get a
know.
good overlay with Havoc in it. I don't know why.
That one was a little bit better. I feel.
Did
I'm trying to look for
what'd you say?
I'm trying to look for pictures of her, not in the Havoc gimmick.
Yeah, like I see one with her with like a pink title belt. I tried to show the people, but the overlays just don't work too well for me. Um, so Don't really know why.
Hmm.
Um, they just get this area up here, and that's about it. That's what my overlays do. I don't know why. So I apologize that I can't get a decent overlay for you guys. But yeah, feel free to look up Jessica Havoc and leave a comment and let me know. Do you really think that Havoc, um, maybe she's just built that way for this gimmick? She's not always like that because I know it looks like if you look her up. I mean, take some time to look her up. Not right now. I'm gonna continue with the review, but take some time to look her up right now. You don't have to watch, just listen. So take some time to look her up right now and see what you think, because she doesn't look the same. Like she looks the same, but she looks relatively small, and it may just be for this specific gimmick. I don't want to disrespect her this for at Hammerlock Slam me. But after this, knockouts match, we had a guy who I can't say his name anymore. We got Shara. He was joined by Manic, and Manic basically wants to get to know him. The weird part about this was when a stranger comes up to me and is like, for one, you don't really offer me a sip of your drink when you're a stranger to me, and for two, I usually wouldn't take it. So I don't know. I think you saw this. Um, Basically, man was like, you want to you want some of my I don't even know what he said, my soda or something like that. Which why is man drinking soda anyway? Being a professional wrestler, you can't. Nope. But anyway, he's like, you want to sip my soda? And the dude's like, yeah. So I was like, oh, all right. I don't think that would happen in real life. But okay. And then I was thinking, I had something else I wanted to write down, but I forgot to write it down, so I forgot it. But I was thinking, Manic's probably recruiting Sheriff for the Revolution, but I don't know if Sheriff's going to join the Revolution. That may actually be the way he debuts in TNA, though, as well. So, what do you think about? I know you actually got to see this promo, so what'd you think about this?
Um, Before I get to that promo, I know I was telling you I had some kind of bigger news for the show.
Oh, yeah.
If you watch this segment, they kind of pan over at first, and there's a table of people there. The girl that's sitting there, if you watch it, I don't know if you still have it recorded or whatever, but if you can see it on YouTube, I actually know her. Um, Her ring name is Sammy Pandora. She's from around where I live, or kind of near where I live. So yeah, I actually know her. I had to rewind it for a second because I was like, wait, is that holy shit? Um, so that was kind of cool. So you should go check her out. Her Twitter is at Sammy Pandora, Sammi Pandora. And then she also has a YouTube, youtube.com/Sammy Pandora. Go check her out. But yeah, that was kind of cool. I had another friend of mine who is a indie wrestler tell me to keep paying attention to TNA in the next coming weeks. So he may have been talking about her specifically, or there may be a couple other guys that I know might be just kind of hidden in there somewhere. Uh, but I thought that was kind of cool. Anyway, the uh, the segment itself, it was kind of weird that he offered him some of his soda. I was like, "Are you trying to roofie him right now? What's going on here? I don't understand." Um, it was just weird. Like, I don't. Was that in like the script, or did he just say,
Why did he have to sit alone too? All those people just sitting there talking. He couldn't sit with them. Like, you know, this new up and coming talent can't got to sit alone. Come on.
and it didn't even look like they were talking to each other. It looked like they were just kind of just sitting there staring. Too. I was like, that's so not natural. What the hell? And I want to know where they were anyway. Like, where was that? That wasn't looked like some like
Because it's like, where they tape Impact changes, so it's not like that's everywhere they go, right? Or is that
yeah.
like in like headquarters or something?
I, I don't know. It almost looked like part of a like food court or something like that. I don't. It was weird. But yeah, that was my excitement for the show. I was like, holy shit, I know somebody.
I've actually seen her before. I don't know where I saw her, but I've actually seen her before.
Yeah,
Are we getting a new knockout?
that would be freaking awesome. I'd be like, holy shit, I know her. I don't know. I mean, I hope they get some new, fresh faces, you know?
Potential interview in the making, since you know her.
I can try. I wink wink. I see you're trying to be inconspicuous. You're,
All right. After the nice little segment and known person of known female of KC shows up. Basically, we get a little backstage segment pre main event time, and Lashley's like, you know what, MVP, I'm gone. Except he doesn't say that. He doesn't say anything at all. He just leaves. He's packing up his stuff. He's leaving. MVP's like, brah, you gonna do this to me like that, brah? Come on now, dude. He can't. I was there for you when he was winning the title and he was defending it, and I was talking for you. That's what he should have said. He should have been like, I was there when you couldn't speak, and I spoke for you. He should have just let him know that Lashley has no vocal cords at all, and MVP basically, you know, anything the MVP says is basically from Lashley as well. But Lashley, leaves. He leaves the building from what we know at this point. I probably shouldn't have done that because I may have clued y'all in on a little bit of something that may have happened later on that maybe y'all should know already, unless you're watching the review and you haven't seen it yet. But anyway, we got the main event of the evening. We got MVP versus Bobby Roode. First off, I guess all world title matches aren't created equal because we didn't get the slow bell ring or the formal introductions. But then again, this was kind of a spur of the moment match. It makes a little bit of sense, and it wasn't built up like the Rude and Lashley thing has been built up for weeks and weeks and weeks. So it does make a little bit of sense that they didn't do that, even though it was a little bit weird. But they don't do it for all of them. But it was something. It was something. That's all I got. It was something. It was something. So basically, to start the match, we had MVP using whatever he could even find possible to try to weaken Rude. We had a nice little bridging suplex by MVP on Rude for a near fall. We had a double A spine buster. Is it double A or is it double R? I can't remember off the top of my head.
I don't
I think
know.
it's double R. I think it's double R.
It's
The
double
Triple
fine.
A spine buster basically. Um, for a near fall. We got a superplex by Bobby Roode that leads to a near fall. We got I don't think it was a Shining Wizard, but it was kind of like a Shining Wizard that was actually a kick um, by MVP that led to a near fall. Then we had a roll up pin, which I actually thought was going to end it, considering the way the match ended last time. I was like, oh, he's going to roll him up again. He's going to roll him up again, but he did. That actually came to a near fall as well. We got an attempted Rude bomb that leads to a player's boot. We got Bobby Roode reversing the Playmaker, which we haven't. I don't think we've seen in TNA yet. Have we? Have you seen the Playmaker since MVP got there? I don't know. You can comment on that if you think about it. I
I don't
give you
think
a chance
so.
to think about that. I don't think we've
Yeah.
seen that, and we still didn't see it. He hasn't even attempted it. I don't think. It's been more the drive-by kick. But then we got Rude reversing the Playmaker into the Rude bomb for the win. But Then we get Lashley appearing from behind, and he spears Bobby Roode during his celebration. MVP's like, bruh, help me up, bruh. Come on, dude. I got your back, bruh. I done had your back. I'm your mouthpiece, dude. Come on, you can't talk without me, dude. Practically, he's like, help me up. And Lashley's like, nope. So Lashley just walks right past him, and he says, I'm not going to help you up. And big things for next week. We're gonna actually have Austin Aries versus Bobby Lashley next week. I don't know if that's for like a number contender spot or if it's just a one-on-one match. I don't know. Kind of clued us in on that. We're gonna have Aries versus Lashley next week, and then we're gonna have Hardy versus the Wolves next week for the tag team titles, obviously. Um, do you think it's weird that Bobby Lashley's not really Bobby Lashley anymore? It's kind of just Lashley. I know WWE did that a lot with the dropping of the first names.
Yeah, they did that with Rusev. They did that with Cesaro.
Big E,
Yeah,
well, the last name.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they feel like it, makes them more intimidating with just the last name, or
Because even for a while, it felt like they were going to call him Bobby Lashley. Because I think Christy Hemme was introducing him as Bobby Lashley, and then recently she started introducing him as Lashley. So I'm like, I don't know what are they doing. What does it matter, Bob? I mean, it makes more logical sense for him to be Bobby Lashley. It makes him feel like he's a real person.
maybe they just don't want to have two Bobbies in the company.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm just waiting for Lashley to officially, turn on uh, MVP and Kenny King, because I feel like they're building it up, but then I don't know what they do with him, if they would have him be a face or still have him be a heel.
Yeah, it would make sense that maybe him, Gunner, since TNA likes fashion so much, him, Gunner, and they and Lashley, they start. I mean, him, Gunner, and Melendez, they start. It's like warrior type of you know hero type of what I mean,
Yeah.
American hero type of faction.
Well, if you do that, you gotta have Anderson in there.
Oh yeah, I don't know. They don't they pump Anderson up recently like that, but it's not like we've heard it. I don't know. I probably heard it. I've heard it in reviews more about Lashley than I have in the company. But yeah, I forgot about Anderson. Sorry, Anderson. I didn't forget about you.
I kind of started forgetting about him anyway, because where the hell has he been? Like,
Yeah, he's like he randomly teams up with Melendez, or they put him in a short feud with Shaw, or
yeah.
what'd
I
you
mean,
think
he
of the
could have
main
gotten
event though?
injured or something like that, but I don't know.
I don't know. What'd you think about the main event though, in particular?
Um, it was good. I wasn't really looking that forward to it. I mean, I knew MVP wasn't gonna win the title. You know, they never win the title usually that short notice. Um, and I was surprised that they are gonna have Bobby Lashley versus Austin Aries next week. I thought they would have a match with Lashley versus MVP, because MVP basically stole his rematch. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I thought,
I thought Aries was gone. Haven't seen him in a while. I thought he'd taken a break or something. I thought he went on his smoke break or something. I don't know. I was like, where's Aries? Because he wasn't in the tournament either, was he? Nope.
no, no, no.
Is he back in the doghouse again? Did he do something to Christy Hemme?
I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, it was an okay uh main event. Um,
Yeah, it wasn't as good as last week though.
yeah, it wasn't my favorite, but
I, I don't know if you like this about TNA, but I do. Like the whole, it feels like they're making every show feel big. Like every show at least has one big match or something like that.
yeah,
I do like that they do that. They make it feel like okay. They make it feel like even if you even though you didn't know this was gonna be a match from the outset, they made it feel like okay. So now I gotta tune in. It's gonna be a world title match.
yeah. And actually, that now that you say that, I know in one of our past videos we were talking about how um, TNA has a lot smaller roster than WWE, and they still seem to have much more jam-packed, stacked shows. I actually went through and just to give everyone an idea of the difference in talent. Um, WWE's main roster has 51 superstars. Their NXT roster has 29 superstars. Their main roster for Divas has 14, and their NXT roster for Divas has 7. When you compare that to NXT, they have 41 superstars and they have 9 knockouts. And then I threw in Ring of Honor too. They have 37 superstars and 9 female. I don't know if they call them divas or whatever, but it just shows like both Ring of Honor and TNA have a lot smaller roster compared, and they have so much better shows. It almost doesn't make sense on paper. If you write that down and said, okay, but TNA has better shows, it wouldn't make sense. But that just that popped in my head when you were saying uh, they always have a good show. Even the mediocre TNA shows are the most part better than the average Raw. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, with TNA especially, I think, and it's kind of even kind of helped them too because it made them. Well, we're gonna have to make something that not only Spike TV is gonna sit there and say we enjoy this, but the fans are gonna come in and say we also enjoy this to keep us on this network too. So as much as it kind of hurt them a little bit, it also kind of helped.
yeah, I know, and I know they're working out, their deal, their TV deal, whatever, what's going to be happening. I kind of would like to know, backstage, what the effect of uh, Rockstar Spud saying "teabag" multiple times was. I I want to know, is Spike TV gonna have an issue with that? Are they gonna, be like, ooh, that's innovative. Maybe this is gonna be good for us because something like that. It could be offensive to some people, but a lot of like old school wrestling fans are gonna be like, oh, maybe they're getting a little bit more edgy.
Yeah, and like they didn't even like beep it out or bleep it out or anything. And this is the thing about Spike TV is TNA shows are taped in advance. So if they cared enough about it, they will bleep it out.
Yeah,
Like you can kind of see that maybe they didn't care as much about it. Maybe they thought it would bring a little bit more edge to it because they didn't bleep it out. Like I mean, you got time to edit the shows in whatever way you need to edit them. So I mean, if they wanted to go in and beep it out, they could have.
yeah. But I thought it made it for a good segment there. I'm I'm excited to see what more things Rockstar Spud has to say.
As long as he says wanker every single week, I'll be good.
I I kind of want the cloud suit. I like the cloud suit. I have to say, you know, it's stylish. I like it.
What did what did Bad News Barrett? He called the fans something. I can't remember what he called them though. It was some kind of British term. I don't know, but it just reminds me of Rockstar Spud because we got Wanker tonight, and Bad News Barrett said something. If you guys know what I'm talking about, let me know.
Yeah, but also, I wanted to say with Tyrus, he needs to stop wearing that gold chain that he got like in the early '90s. You know, the it's just it's so bad.
It makes him a G, man. He's a G. Big T
No,
dog, bro. Big T dog.
it's just bad. It's
You
just
would think, dude. You would think. I mean, being under the tutelage of the Carters, he could probably get him a new chain, right?
yeah, update that thing. Come on.
Because he's got like a legit chain, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Probably got a lock on the end too.
he has like one of those like big gold chains like that rappers used to have in like the '90s, like the big thick one.
He just needs to get a chain with his face on it. There we go.
or
Like
or
Rick Ross has. He should just get one like
a big T on it, all blinged out.
that. All right. So that's the review for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I think overall, both of us thought this was a pretty good show.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't think it was as good as last week. But it was jam packed though. There was a lot in it. There was indeed a lot in it. If you guys got any questions you would like to ask, just let us know, cause we can answer them at some point. Um, but you know share the video definitely. Definitely share that thing. That's what I'd say. You know what? Write the link to my channel on a dollar bill, and then it'll go everywhere, dude. Do it. Do it. Do it. I challenge you. I challenge you. I challenge you. I challenge you. No, seriously. Share the video in whatever way you want to share it. If you like writing stuff on dollar bills, cool, cool. But if you don't, you can share it, due to modern technology like Twitter. That's mine down there. Um, you can share it like that because obviously what's gonna happen is when this video uploads, it's gonna post to my Twitter, and I'll probably retweet it myself. I probably won't retweet my own tweet because that's weird. But you guys can retweet it. So feel free, feel free. I love you guys though. Talk to you guys later. More content coming, guaranteed, guaranteed, guaranteed. So hope you guys enjoyed. Casey, what
Yeah,
you got?
I mean, share the video. He wants you to go more the new age route. I personally, say, hey, right, take the link there. Write it on a piece of paper, put it in a bottle. If you happen to be going on a cruise, some people like to go on cruises, during the winter, get away from the cold weather. Throw it over the side of the boat. It's gonna float somewhere. You never know. It could float to Africa. It could float to China. Somebody's gonna get that, and they're gonna watch this video, and it's gonna be
I
because of
mean,
you.
we already got a fan in Australia, so we're already worldwide here. So
Yeah, we need your help. But follow me on the Twitter. It's down there, the Twitter. I like to call it the Twitter. I would call it the Twitter machine, but I think Bully Ray has that copyrighted. I don't want to get in trouble.
did
He's a
Bully
big
Ray say
guy.
that or Dixie Carter? No, Dixie Carter's gonna sue you. You can't say
Yeah,
that. You can't say that. The video's over. The video's over. It's over.
No.
It's
I'm
over.
sorry. I'm sorry, Dixie. I'm sorry. Don't sue me. I don't have anything. I don't think we together have anything that you would want. So, but yeah, share the video, retweet it, retweet it again. Put it on Facebook, put it on Vine, put it on uh, hack. You know what? Go to a movie theater, hack in there, and put it on all the theater screens. It's gonna work. It might not be legal, but we don't care as long as our video gets seen. We're not gonna go to jail. You are. Uh, but like I said, hope you enjoy the video and more content to come. I'm sure we'll figure out more videos, and if you have any suggestions, like we keep saying, put them in the comments. Any questions, comments, concerns, fashion tips. We give out fashion tips as well, because we're clearly so stylish. You can tell. And don't forget the hate mail to Ryan. We gave you his Twitter. But yeah, that's about it.
Also, I've been wanting to wear this shirt in a review for a long, long time, and I finally found it again. So I'm gonna take the overlay off so you guys can see it. It's the Allied. Where is it? There you go. Allied Independent Wrestling Federation, the AIWF. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them. I know they came to my hometown one time, and I got this shirt for free. So I was this excited. It's like the only wrestling shirt I have. Pretty pitiful, but oh, shout out to the AIWF guys. Um, like I said, do what you do. Share it. Wait, what? Anyway, share the video or and make sure you press that subscribe. It'll make a little check mark. It'll be like subscribe, and you're like, I just subscribed. You know what I mean? That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Tell your friends to subscribe. If you got some wrestling friends, if you got some non-wrestling friends, and they might like wrestling or not, I don't care. Get your mom to subscribe. Get your grandma. Create an account for your foot and make him subscribe. Okay. All right,
Oh,
guys. I'll see you guys later.
oh, yeah.
Peace. Okay.